going to do today? Are we going to go lighter because it's what your husband wants? Or are we going to go shorter because your friends like you most with short hair? Or are you going to go darker because you've not been getting so much compliments after all? Or are we going to give you something that is going to make you truly happy? Back in 2008, I was sitting at the table with the school commission board explaining and defending my case on why I should be given a second chance. I believe that I had a valid reason because I just got into a bicycle accident which made it very difficult for me to go to school because I was walking on crutches. But apparently, that was my last case I was going to defend because I was not given a second chance of pursuing my law studies at this particular school. Now you heard it right. I was going to become a lawyer, a prestigious career, something to be proud of. My mom was as proud as a peacock telling everybody on the island that I was going to become a lawyer. Now, going back at this meeting, I remember the argument saying, why should we give another Antillean another chance? Now, I'm not kidding, that's exactly what they said. They left me with two options. I could either stay at the school but choose another profession, or I had to change schools, which also meant change cities. But that was not on my agenda because I wanted to go specifically to this school because it was one of the best. And changing professions also not on my agenda because there wasn't other profession that was making my heart jump. So you can imagine the devastation I felt at that moment. I was sad, I was crying, I felt like I failed. One time I remember a friend coming over and we were getting ready to go out and she asked me at one point, Veronique, do you want to cut my bangs? And I got so excited, I went to the kitchen, got this big kitchen scissor out, and I cut the most perfect bangs ever. Now you must understand that since I was a kid, I always enjoyed doing hair. It was something I always was doing. I was blow drying my mother's hair, everybody. And I remember when I was a kid, my very first school presentation ever about what I wanted as a career was that I wanted to be a hairstylist. But I never considered pursuing this because the society has always made me believe that hairstyling is not a career choice. It is a hobby. But the feeling I got when I was cutting my friend's hair, I knew that this is what I was going to do. But how was I going to explain this to my mom and the society? I mean, the society has always created this ideal image of the perfect profession, the perfect career, the perfect image, the perfect paycheck. And hairstyling was never a part of this. I mean, who was going to quit their high-paid career for just a childhood hobby? I mean, who does that? And I remember the most heard argument was, you are not going to earn a lot of money by doing hair. But after I gathered my strength, I called my mom and I told my mom I was going to do this. Now, while she supported me, everybody else was looking at me crazy, and they were judging me before even knowing that they were judging. But I couldn't care less because I know that this is it and nobody was going to stop me. And now here I am 10 years later. I've done amazing things. I mean, I have a 4-year-old daughter. I have worked with many celebrities. My salon was voted 3 years in a row the best hair salon on the island. I am fully booked, and I have a waiting list. Now that's amazing, right? Now, while I'm extremely grateful for all these opportunities, and while everybody from the outside has been seeing this as the ultimate success, I have been feeling like I was not living my full potential. I started thinking to myself, is this it? Is this the only thing that I am capable of doing? But how could I be possibly thinking that? I mean, I am actually doing what I said I wanted, right? I am doing my passion. I am doing hair 24/7. But I kept ignoring these feelings, and I kept on going because bills needed to be paid, my daughter needed to be fed, and investments needed to be kept making. You see, many of us end up choosing our path out of fear, disguised as practicality or even power. And what we really want seems impossibly out of reach or even ridiculous to expect. And many of us end up focusing on what truly matters to the other instead of ourselves. But I'm not any different. Because after I have been ignoring these feelings for a very long time, I started getting sick. I started only complaining, because complaining seems always easier. And I too started believing that I was just a hairstylist, and that's the only thing that I'll ever be. At that point, I realized that I was also focusing on what mattered to the other instead to myself. And I remember just a glimpse of me not being able to be there for my daughter and my business, my goals and my vision, made me get up, stop complaining, and start doing something about it. Now, I had the opportunity to ask a couple of kids what they really want as a career, and sadly, many of them chose to keep on perfecting and to live up to the expectation to their parents and the society. Many of these kids chose to please their parents and others instead of focusing on themselves and going after their happiness and their passion, their heart, their dreams. And that is exactly why I started with my own hairstyling teaching program, because I wanted these kids to be part of something amazing. I wanted these kids to also believe that there is more than just being a hairstylist. I wanted to offer them a platform where they get to experience the real deal by getting the right support and training by someone who's been through it all. I wanted to elevate my own industry because I wanted to keep elevating myself. You cannot give what you do not have. You see, this theme of tonight is about smashing boxes, but what I really want you guys to start thinking is that there is not even a box to begin with. We don't have to be talking about smashing boxes, because by thinking that there is a box, we end up limiting our beliefs, which will either way prevent us from reaching higher. So if you really want to go after that career or that passion or that talent, go for it. It doesn't matter if others disagree. And one valuable lesson that I got of my experience is to never ignore your feelings, because they are there for a reason. And you must get in touch with yourself, because otherwise it will bite you there. Thank you.